In today's episode, I'm going to share with you 5 tips for success when it comes to trading and traveling. And I'm going to give you a tour of my personal traveling trading station that I used this morning to lock up over $33,000 in profit while on vacation. Now, I'm a full-time trader, and one of the things that's really nice about trading is the fact that you can do this from anywhere in the world as long as you've got an internet connection. So the first tip for success is to make sure you confirm the speed of the internet at the place that you are traveling to. And that doesn't just mean, well, I'm going to Italy. Certainly Italy has fast internet. I've heard other people have good internet there. It's actually calling ahead either to the Airbnb or the hotel or whatever it is and asking them to go to speedtest.net and run a speed test. You want to know the type of internet you're using. Look, if I had booked this place that I'm staying at right now and I didn't check the internet ahead of time, today, where I'm up $33,000, it's possible I'd sat down and I wasn't even able to connect to the internet. What if the internet was powered by a cell phone, right? It was just a mobile hotspot. That's all they had, and there was a ton of latency. I couldn't connect my scanners. I couldn't see what was moving. I couldn't get real-time quotes. All of a sudden, my ability to make money is gone. Now, if I'm gonna spend money and travel, some people are gonna say, hey, just take the time off. But you know what? I'm like the mailman. I show up every single day, rain or shine. Not only do I have students who are depending on me and expecting me to show up every single day for my live broadcast, I wanna trade every day because I don't like getting rusty. I like knowing what's moving in the market. And that means being able to charge up that computer, open it up, and get connected to the internet. So, first step is to make sure you confirm the speed of the internet at the place you're staying using speedtest.net. My second tip for success while traveling is to reduce your risk, to scale it down a little bit. It's nice to be able to make a little bit of money each day, but what you don't want to have happen is that you take a really big loss being way too aggressive, or that you take a big position and then all of a sudden you do lose internet because you're not at your home trading station where you've kind of got everything dialed in. So there's always the possibility you're on the traveling trading station, you think you're good, and then you realize, uh-oh, this computer's not working the way I expect it to, or your monitor breaks, or you lose your power, or your internet goes down, or something like that. So it's better to size down a little bit when you're traveling. I remember one time I flew from JFK Kennedy Airport in New York to Venice, Italy. And so it's, probably like a 7-hour flight or something like that. Flight leaves at 9 o'clock at night, gets to Italy about 4 in the morning, Eastern Standard Time. By the time I got to my hotel, it was like 7 a.m. And so Eastern Standard Time. So it's like 1 in the afternoon there. And I'm thinking, well, maybe I'll just go ahead and trade. Now, I didn't sleep at all. I was up all night. I can't sleep on the plane very well. So I pop open my computer and, my eyes are red. I can barely see straight. And next thing you know, I'm in a big position and I'm down $8,000. And I was like, what did I just do? And that put a little bit of a damper, certainly on the beginning of that trip, because that was not the plan at all. My plan was that I was gonna trade every single day and, try to make a couple $1,000s, not do anything crazy, just show up. And I didn't expect to take that kind of risk. And so what I underestimated was that, I guess I was overconfident. I overestimated my ability to take a night flight and then a red-eye flight and then just start trading like normal that morning. And so give yourself a little bit of slack, bring the share size down, expect that you're not gonna be at the top of your game, but as long as you can show up every single day and trade with small share size, you continue to stay kind of in the zone of what's moving in the market. And if we've got a good market, then you may be able to catch some nice trades. So second tip is to scale down and reduce your risk a little bit while you're traveling. Now, your third step for success is to make sure you pack the right gear. So I'm gonna give you a tour of my traveling trading station. I keep it pretty simple. You can see it right here. I've got a laptop in the center. This is my laptop. And then I've got 2 USB monitors, one on either side. Now, these USB monitors that I like to pack, they're super skinny. It's like a 1/4 inch thick. And so 2 of them side by side go in my backpack. And so I put them in my backpack right behind my laptop. Now, if you have TSA pre-check or you have global entry, you don't have to take your laptop out of your bag when you go through screening at the airport, which is great. So the bag that I use is, it's made by Toomey, and I've been using this bag for a long time. It's kind of beaten up, but it says T-Pass, and they have a separate compartment in the back where you can slide in up to 2 or 3 laptops. So depending on how thick your laptops are. So I put the monitors in one, the laptop in the other, and just like that, this is all in my carry-on. Now, I will say, something that's really important is to make sure you can pack your entire traveling trading station inside a carry-on bag. Here's the problem. We've all seen how bags get tossed into the underbelly or whatever of the airplane. You don't want your nice laptop and your delicate monitor, this little guy, getting flung and dropped on something, you know, kind of pokey, and boom, it's busted. Now you get to your, wherever you're staying, your Airbnb, your hotel, doesn't matter, and all of a sudden you can't trade because you can't, your computer won't even boot up, or your monitors are broken. That's not gonna work. Now imagine just for a second. So I'm up $33,000 today. Yesterday I was up $15,000. So that means I've made $48,000 so far on this trip. That is fantastic. Now, if I had packed this in my check bag and that bag got lost, that would have cost me 48 grand. So even though it's a little heavy to carry these laptops in your backpack, it is a smart decision. So make sure you carry on your traveling trading station. Now the way I have this set up, I've got my actual brokerage screen on my main laptop monitor, and then I've got the Warrior Trading chat room right here, and I've got some scanners. And then on this monitor, this is where I have the stock that I'm watching the most closely, some additional scanners, and then that's the P&L. So this is the monitor that I'm streaming while I'm broadcasting. And then of course I've got my microphone, I've got my camera and stuff like that. Now some of the things that I pack are very specific to the fact that I'm streaming every single day while I'm trading. These aren't things that you would necessarily need to pack. You probably wouldn't need a computer quite as fancy as what I have if you're not running a broadcast. Generally, I say that any computer that's a gaming spec computer will be more than adequate for trading and should be good for at least 5 years. You get a decent computer today, it'll last you for 5 years. Is it gonna last you for 10 years? No, probably not. Not as a laptop. But 5 years, that's gonna be a good run for most laptops and for your traveling trading station. So 2 USB monitors, 1 laptop, and really, with that, you're good. As long as you've made sure you've got that internet connection, that's the minimum gear that you need, and that is what's gonna allow you to trade from anywhere in the world. Now, I actually usually use Wi-Fi. I have no problem being on Wi-Fi as long as the place I'm traveling to has good internet. I don't have any issue being on Wi-Fi. Is it nice to be hardwired? Honestly, it makes almost no difference. I don't. At this point, as long as you've got good internet speed, the incremental increase by being hardwired is not necessary. So I wouldn't worry about bringing an Ethernet cable with you and trying to hardwire into a modem or something in the laundry room of the building you're in. It doesn't matter. As long as you've got high-speed internet, a relatively low ping time, low latency, you're gonna be fine. So, you know, I have traveled and used Starlink quite a bit. And Starlink for me is hit or miss. It can work great, but it's another thing to pack. And you know, you want to kind of minimize how much you're carrying around. The Starlinks are sort of bulky, they're sort of big. So putting it in your backpack, I mean, you can do it, but if you have a local internet, that's going to be a better option. Starlink, when it works great, but if you've got either poor weather or you don't have a good view of the northern sky, then right now it doesn't work super well, and then you're kind of out of luck. So it's good to have a backup, and so for me, I'm using my mobile hotspot on my phone as my backup. Just in case the internet here goes down, I do have a plan B. And I also make sure I keep the phone number of my broker on hand so I can always call them if I need to and say, hey, can you get me out of this position? Now, I use a broker that caters to traders like myself that are 7-figure, 8-figure traders with big accounts. They'll pick up the phone the second you call and they'll immediately get on and they can handle it. So that's probably not gonna work with Charles Schwab or Webull or some of these other brokers, but if you have a broker that caters to professional traders, then that'll work. Fourth tip for success is to try to find a quiet place where you can work. Now, this can be challenging, especially if you're traveling with family, which often I am. So I have to work every single day. I mean, it's a commitment that I've made, and it's good for my kids to see that I take, work seriously. And I don't work all day, but I work for a couple hours each morning. And so for me, typically, I'll try to find a quiet place where I can work, while we're wherever we are. You know, if it's a spare bedroom or if it's even a closet, I mean, I don't really care as long as it's kind of a quiet place. Because here's the thing, in the moments when I'm focusing in a trade, I'm so focused on that trade, I really don't want to get distracted. And I can be a little short when I have someone like, you know, trying to get my attention when I'm trying to focus on this. Like, let me do this for an hour, for 2 hours, and then you can have my attention. But right now is my time where I need to get this done. I need to work. So, you know, I spend a lot of time each day when I'm looking at charts, talking myself out of trades. No, I don't like that, I don't like that. But then when I finally decide to see something I like, you know, I look at the chart, I look at the stock, and then I get so zoned in on the level 2. You know, the distraction of noise, I can put on headphones, noise canceling headphones, which is fine. But if I've got someone tapping on my shoulder saying, hey, can you grab me a towel? Hey, can you go, whatever it is. It's like, that's just where I need a little bit of quiet time. So if you're traveling with your kids and, you know, it's like, okay, this is gonna be the hour where you're watching Magic School Bus, I'm gonna trade, and then we're gonna go do our thing. That's fine. If you have a spouse, then maybe they take the kids out or whatever the case is. But I know that that's not ideal for everyone. You know, when you travel, sometimes you might say, I just want to be able to enjoy the whole trip, and that's fine. On the other hand, for me, being up $48,000 in these last 2 days, it's like, yeah, you really don't want to miss out on that. And that takes me 2 hours a day. I should probably prioritize that. And in fact, by prioritizing that, all of a sudden, that boosts the quality of the trip. Now, going out to dinner, spending $1,000, it's like, who cares? It's no big deal, right? I've done my work, I did a good job, I made some money today. And so it sort of makes the process of traveling that much more affordable when I'm not only spending money on travel, but also missing the opportunity to work. So for me, it's really important to carve out, you know, a couple hours a day where I can focus on trading and to try to find a quiet place where I can do that. Now, I didn't really do a great job of finding a quiet place in this particular rental that I'm in. I'm right here basically on the kitchen table. That just so happened to be sort of the most convenient, but my kids are getting a little bit older and they're pretty good about knowing that, all right, this is the time where, you know, I'm working, and so they're gonna be quiet, and then once that time's done, then boom, we're gonna go out and do stuff. So find yourself that quiet place where you don't have distractions, you don't have people watching over your shoulder, you don't have the in-law being like, oh, what's you doing there? What's that? You don't need that. Just get your time where you can focus, and then you can take the rest of the day. So now the 5th tip to success when it comes to traveling and trading is not to overstay your welcome, because here's the deal. You are here to enjoy the trip. Now, I have had some trips that it's really a work trip, and I'm planning on having dedicated work time for, you know, a week where I'm just gonna get a lot done. I've got a project I'm working on, whether it's writing my book or, you know, working on a set of videos or a new section of the class, and I'm taking a trip to have dedicated, quiet working space, and that's fine. I mean, if that's the purpose of the trip. But if it's a family trip and, you know, you wanna see the sights and things like that, then give yourself your 2 hours and cut it off there. You don't have to trade all day. You don't spend 8 hours, 10 hours sitting in front of your computer. You could do that when you're at home, all right? So while you're traveling, limit the time. And one of the things that's valuable here is that when the market's hot, even if you go red on your first couple trades in a hot market, you'll most likely have enough time to recoup those losses. But if you keep pushing your luck, then you're gonna get yourself in this position where you're kind of just running out of time to recoup those losses, and you're kind of destined to have a red day. So if you focus on kind of getting in, getting green, and shutting it down, that's gonna be a very disciplined approach to traveling and trading. Get green, shut it down, don't overstay your welcome. And in fact, I think that's a great strategy for a lot of beginner traders. And you could do it while you're traveling, but you can even do it at home, where you're saying, I'm gonna get in, I'm gonna get green, and then I'm done. That's, for me, when I had my turning point, and one of the things that I did was I was focusing on you know, being very disciplined and not overstaying my welcome. And so I told myself, look, you're gonna trade in the morning, you're gonna trade for this 2-hour window, and then when that window's done, you're gonna go outside and you're gonna split firewood. And by splitting firewood, I was living up in Vermont at the time, I knew that if I split enough firewood, I wouldn't have to pay for home heating oil. So that was gonna save me $3,000, $4,000 that whole winter. Now this was late summer, fall. I had to make sure I got enough firewood stacked, but I knew that that was saving me money for, you know, for the winter, which would buy me a little bit more time in my learning curve. So that was a really important part of my process, because it was like, I've got my trading window and then I have something else I need to do, and that really helped me stay disciplined on just trading during the window of the day that is typically the highest quality. So I would really encourage that even outside of traveling and trading, but certainly when you're traveling and trading. And so there you have it, my 5 tips for success. And if you enjoyed this episode, I hope you hit that thumbs up, and I'll see you for the next one real soon. And who knows where I will be next, although I have a prediction. Mexico. That's probably the next place I'm gonna go. So I've got a trip for Mexico scheduled already for March, and then next trip after that, St. Martin, and then June. I have to think about where I'm gonna go in June. Maybe that'll be a time to go to Europe. All right, so I'll be on my traveling trading station. I'll be trading and showing up every single day, and thank you guys as always for tuning in. I'll see you for the next episode real soon.